Kirwan's Game Store, the best place in gaming.
Alright guys, we are back with round 4. A match between Christopher Woolheater and Ryan Para. I know both of these players relatively well. I know Chris from events that I've seen him at. I've seen him many a times. This is my first regional, actually. I've seen him. And Ryan, I'm very good friends with. I've known him for a long time. Ryan is on your right playing Madolche, Chris on your left playing Bujin. And this should be, I feel like this should be a pretty good match. Madolche, obviously problematic for Bujin in some aspects, because Turtle and Hare do nothing against Madolche, but Chris is running 2 copies of Black Wind of Heaven. He's not main decking Kaiser Coliseum, which could be problematic. But going into the side, this matchup could become a lot harder for Ryan. What your water?
Water? My head is starting to like really.
Alright, let's see. It would appear that Chris is going first. He starts by summoning a turtle and setting 2, and he passes the turn to Ryan. Ryan responds by summoning an ice hand and declaring an attack on the turtle. The attack is successful, and he will destroy a wiretap with his ice hand before summoning a fire hand from his deck. Gotta get the life totals on this one. It's going to take 100 plus 4, bring him down to 75. Would appear he did not get a summon off of his fire hand. Perhaps he drew an ice hand. Chris responds by summoning Quillen. I need the Decklist. Summoning a Quillen and attacking into a D prison. And then passing the turn back to Ryan. Ryan draws Angeli for turn, just summons her. She is met with a breakthrough skill. I think Ryan's thinking about trap stunning this, and he will. If he activates the trap stun, tributes Angeli off for effect. Going for Hoot Cake here. Hoot Cake summons out the Messenger Lotto. Messenger Lotto's effect. We'll grab the ticket. And he's going to swing directly for 15 and 16. That's 31. Putting Chris down to 49. Can't see what Chris's hand is. I know that he runs 3 Harumes along with multiple Arasudas, I'd imagine. He draws another turtle. He's drawn a lot of monsters, and none of them are Yamato. He's going to banish some of that Harume now. This will allow him to make his Yamato. Oh, not Susanoo. I was going to say Susanoo. He's going for Exciting Knight here. Very good card against Madolche, obviously. They have no way to really deal with this. It cuts them off from floating into anything. See if Ryan has a response. He's going to compulse Hoot Cake back to his hand. And Chris is going to chain Lance onto it. Madolches get shuffled back into the deck. Ryan draws for his turn. He's got an ice hand and he's got Hoot Cake. The ice hand's not really doing anything here. He does have a fire hand in his deck still. He's going to set Hoot Cake. Pass his turn back. Interesting. Did he set? He might have set Ice Hand. Oh, he set a Fire Hand. He had a Fire Hand. Interesting. What happened? Oh, he didn't have the Hoot Cake. I forgot. The Compulse got negated. So Fire Hand's effect is going to attempt to activate to destroy the Excite Knight. It's going to destroy the Excite Knight. It has no targets on the deck to summon, but he will get to destroy here. You see that Chris is holding on to Boojin Carnation. Ryan draws the Hoot Cake. Quite strong. It's not going to allow him to push for game, I don't believe. Unless... I didn't see what he banished off the first Hoot Cake. If he has Leviair, he could... No, he's not going to go for... He's just going to add the ticket. It's going to be 2,000 plus 2,100, which is going to put Chris down to 40... it's going to put Chris down to 800. An instant fusion here from Ryan could seal the game, but he does not have one. Chris draws. I imagine we'll be seeing that Carnation fired off. Just as well, there it is. Gets back Quillen. Along with Harume, this will allow him to reuse Quillen. He's going to get Susanoo. This will deal with both monsters. And he'll be able to get rid of the field card with his Quillen. He's going to have a Crane to his hand. Going to summon a Yamato. It's going to attack. It's going to be 800. No, actually that attack's going to be 900. He's going to attack again with the Susanoo, which is 800 for a total of 17. Then I'll attack with the Yamato for a total of 35 damage, which will put Ryan down to 4,000. Maybe he's not swinging with the Yamato? Didn't actually see there. I imagine he did. Just gonna activate the effect of Susanoo again. This is where you want to be with the Boojin deck, especially against Madolche. Ryan unable to resolve any backbreaking combos, aka Tiaramisu or OTKU. Chris has Honest in his hand. I believe he drew for turn. He's thinking about summoning it, I believe. He's going to summon his Mikazuchi. Ryan scoops it up knowing that he cannot survive that much damage. So Chris Woolheater takes game 1 in the Boojin vs. Madolche matchup. We'll look at their side decks right now, see what they've both got going. Alright, so Ryan's side deck, going first in this matchup, he has 3 Maxis, which we probably won't be seeing DD Crow. It's iffy, doesn't really matter that much. 3 Mystical Space Typhoons, which if he sees a Kaiser Coliseum in the mix, he possibly fears that he would side those in. Debunk can be okay against Boojin. Blight and Prisoning Mirror, very, very good. Blackborn of Heaven, not good at all. And the final card, Scrap Iron Scarecrow, which is definitely good in the Boojin matchup. It's very often that they find themselves sitting on one monster and just being able to shut down the most important attack, aka from a Susanoo, or just when they're sitting on the Yamato game. It's good to be able to lock out that attack, reset the Scrap Iron Scarecrow. It does target, so you can't activate Turtle in response to it, but since Turtle doesn't destroy, the Scarecrow will keep recurring. Hopefully he sees the Scarecrow and it puts it in work. I did tell Ryan to side the Scarecrow before this event. He asked me what card he should side, and I told him to put in Scrap Iron Scarecrow. He didn't believe me, but I won him his last match, so hopefully it will win him this match too. Or at least this game. Get Chris up on the screen, 1 game up. For Chris's side, though, you see him looking at Emptiness right now. Mystical Space Typhoon keeps that emptiness in his side deck. He's putting in Kaiser Coliseum, very, very strong against Madolche. It cannot be turned off by trap stun. The only response is to destroy it. Completely shuts them down. He also side decks Flying Sea, which I imagine he'll put in here. I saw him used against somebody. There's no reliable way from a Dolce to get rid of that card, since they run no tuners. And Ryan is running no effect availers, so that wouldn't happen anyway. He wouldn't be making armory or anything to begin with. Alright, players draw for their turn. We see that Flying Sea in Chris's hand already. Ryan opens up, he's got his Angeli. Saw a Mystical Space Typhoon there. Draws a Breakthrough skill. He's going to summon the Angeli. He's going to tribute her off. Summon a Hoot Cake in defense position. He will proceed to activate Hoot Cake's effect. Summon Messenger Gelato from his deck. Summon Gelato in defense position. I believe he would want to attack here because with this field out, it is bigger than the Yamato, but interesting. Maybe he wants to save his field. Yeah, and just activate the ticket this turn. That way he can shuffle monsters back into his deck later and get the effect of the ticket if he gets one of those in the graveyard. Chris will proceed by summoning Yamato, the best first turn monster to have in Bujin. He's going to set 2 back row. He's going to probably proceed to his end phase here and activate Yamato's effect, get cut off by Breakthrough skill. Ryan draws for the turn, he draws a Debunk. Ryan could go on the offensive here if he activates his field spell and swing into the Yamato, but we know Chris has a Crane in hand. There he's going to go for this play. He can also beat over the Yamato on the second attack with his Hoot Cake, which is probably what he's banking on doing here. He's going to drop the Crane. So Ryan's at 21, the Yamato goes up to 36, he ends up taking 1,500 points of damage, putting Ryan down to 65. Gelato shuffled back into the deck, activates the effective ticket. What will he add to his hand here? Just a Magileine. Good card, get the advantage going. Does have to deal with this Yamato eventually, though. He does. He swings with the Hoot Cake, which is at 2,000, which deals 200 points to Chris. So this is a good exchange for Ryan overall, especially since we know Chris only has a turtle in hand. And that's a concession from Chris. Interesting. I don't know what he can see. I saw the warning on the Magileine, but nothing after that. Huh. It appears that Chris has sided out a Harume, and he's going to side it back in going first because he wants to try and resolve his combo on the first turn. He is running the 3 Harumes. He's also running 3 Bujin Carnation. So we'll see if he's able to pull this combo up on the first turn, what he's taking out. He has Full House in his deck. Trump card against Dolce. Usually it's going to be live if you draw it. It stops them all from floating because it will destroy the continuous cards. So up on the board, we have a 1-1 match so far. Game 2 was pretty quick there. So let's see. So Chris is not running any copies of Bujin, the yellow one. I forget his name. He's not very good, but usually I thought people ran him with the Harume. Oh, Arasuda. I thought people ran Arasuda with Harume usually when they ran the 3 Harumes, but he's not doing that, so he's not going for the actual combo-oriented Bujin deck where they go off on the first turn and, or on the second turn usually and try and make Yamato Kakatsuchi at the same time. He's just going for, it's a traditional Bujin deck that's running Bujin Harume. I believe I saw him put one of those Harumes back in, so taking out a card. It wasn't Emptiness, I don't think. I think he opted not to take out the Emptiness here. He's going to put both back in his deck because he's going first. I think he took out a Duality. Ryan presents his deck. Chris is going to shuffle, cut it some. Cuts Ryan's deck, Ryan cuts his. Decks have been presented, and here we go with game 3, where Chris will be going first. He opens with Kaiser Coliseum, very strong. Ryan has opened what looks like a bunch of trap cards and a ticket. I was going to say Wind-Up Factory. It's basically the same card. It looks like a Wind-Up Factory. There's an MST. That'll be good for the Kaiser Coliseum, should he choose to save this, and I believe he will. He has a trap stun as well, along with Light Imprisoning Mirror. Chris draws his Yamato, very strong. This is good for him. We do know about the Light Imprisoning Mirror, so we'll see where that goes. He's going to swing for 18 before he does anything that puts Ryan down to 62. This is a good heads-up play from Chris. A lot of players tend to not swing with Yamato into an open field because they're afraid of any trap cards that might have him, but he does have the Lance. So he's just getting some damage in there. He's going to attempt to activate Yamato's effect. It will be cut off by Light Imprisoning Mirror. He did set the Lance for his turn, so he will not be able to chain that in response unless he has something else that he had set on the previous turn. Ryan will draw a Fire Hand for the turn. This is this is a very, very big play for him. See if he wants to set it or summon it. He will proceed to set it and activate the ticket. This is a good play on his part. He's going to get full housed here, potentially. He has a trap stun, though. I believe he'll probably activate this here. He's activating the ticket to convey that he has a Dolce set that he just wants to float to use as a chump block, but he actually has set the Fire Hand. He's just going to activate an MST in response. I thought he had a trap stun. Did he not? That's not good. He has the trap stun in his hand. Had he been able to get that going, things could have went a lot better for him, but he will be able to destroy the Yamato with his Fire Hand, which allows him to summon an Ice Hand. It's something. He's got 2 cards to Chris's 3. You know Chris has a turtle in his hand. Whether or not he wants to summon it is questionable, considering the Ice Hand there. He draws a Muflay for turn to add to his trap stun. He's going to swing here with the Ice Hand. Which puts Chris down to 67. Harume is going to come off the top for Chris, followed by a Mind Control. That is really good for him. 6,700. Just going to overlay with the Ice Hand. This is quite strong here. Ryan only has a trap stun, so he's going to summon Arc. Just swing for 21. It's Ryan down to 41 life points. He's going to draw a Compulse. I mean, that's quite good here against the Honor Arc. So, but he still needs to get something going. I mean, a Hoot Cake would be very, very good for him. There's that. He's going to respond with a Lance probably, though. Yeah, that's going to bring the Honor Arc down to 1,300, so Ryan's going to go down to 28 here. He draws a Wiretap for turn. Not good in this situation. I believe this puts Ryan at 700 after he takes the attack with that Arc there. He's going to set Muflay for turn along with one more back row and pass. Chris goes off with a Tenki here. See what Ryan can do. He's going to summon the Yamato. Ryan has no response for this. Gonna attack first with the Honor Arc to destroy Muflay. We'll see if Ryan has a response, though. He's gonna scoop it up, and that is the match between Chris Woolheater and Ryan Para. Chris taking it was a pretty quick match, taking a victory here with Bujin, a clutch full house, sealing him the game. As I stated earlier, it is just, full house is very, very strong against Madolce. If Ryan had set the trap stun on his first turn, I feel like he would have been in a much stronger position, but we'll probably look back on that and feel the same way.